I watched the Dora the Explorer episode rated 9.8. For millions of years, people have been asking, what actually happened in Season 4, Episode 19 of Dora the Explorer? So I decided, once and for all, to finally figure out what actually happens in that episode. Now, before anyone jumps into any conclusions asking, is watching Dora weird? No, it's not weird. It would be weird if I had baby oil next to my side. So this is my in-depth analysis of Dora the Explorer Season 4 Episode 19.
Are you ready, kids?
Dora the Explorer!
So this episode is based on Friendship Day and Friends, which obviously I know a lot about. It starts with a whole musical number singing about friendship, Friendship Day, friendship bracelets, the type of song that psychologically conditions you into just sitting there and watching some good old Dora.
It's Friendship Day!
They introduce the full cast, the whole squad, the whole cinematic universe, and the entire shebang. And then the goat appears. Swiper. There's just something about Swiper that just makes us all feel excited. At first, he comes to steal the bracelets. Classic Swiper behavior. But then he realizes what he's doing is actually wrong. He has a moral arc. The goat is an understanding human being. And we learn that Swiper hasn't just been stealing locally. He's been stealing bracelets all over the world. What can I say? He is Mr. Worldwide. This is when Dora finds out that her friends from different countries across the globe have all lost their friendship bracelets. And when they show these kids, we notice something a little dark, a little messed up. I'm not saying directly, but it's definitely questionable. Every child's friendship bracelet has been stolen. Now the universe is in grave danger, and the only person that can save it is. So Dora decides to save her friends, but first she calls the map. And the map sends her on a global mission, first to France, then Tanzania, Russia, and then finally China. So the first location is France, and for some reason Dora decides to leave Boots behind, which feels extremely wrong to me. I feel like Boots would have belonged in France, cause he literally speaks French.
Première speak French Fokker.
They take a ship, travel, and then reach France. Now Dora immediately starts teaching us French.
We say bonjour!
And I feel like she's not actually suitable for this job because I believe her pronunciation sucks. It's not actually bonjour, it's
Bonjour, mademoiselle!
she speaks with the French people and all that. And then we come into this realization that France has its own version of Swiper, a skunk. Now, why a skunk? We do not know. There is no explanation, there is no lore, no backstory, just a mystery which we will never uncover. But as usual, Dora does Dora things, fixes the problem, and saves the day. Absolutely inspirational. By the way, the skunk jumped from the Eiffel Tower.
I believe I can fly. I believe I.
From there, the mission continues. Next stop, Africa. Now, how do they plan on getting there? Obviously by scooter, which already tells me that Dora has a driver's license and I don't.
Around the world! Where are we going?
Around the world! Where are we going?
Around the world!
Did the fucking scooter turn into a jet ski? Okay, now they reach Tanzania. And yeah, they have houses with and they are grilling chicken, I assume. And yeah. Now obviously you're in Africa, so you need to do a safari. And that's what Dora and the gang did. This whole segment of Dora going through the safari has to be the most thrilling stuff I've seen in my career. They finally reach the mountain and meet the swiper variant of Tanzania. But again, the hero saves the day and stops the swiping and rescues the people of Africa. Africa secured. Now the story escalates. The next destination, Russia. So she's going to the palace in Russia and they decide to take a hot air balloon to reach there. Now this part I think is a bit unbelievable because realistically a hot air balloon journey from Tanzania to Russia is functionally implausible due to the balloon's dependence on vertically stratified wind currents, the absence of lateral propulsion, the necessity of crossing geopolitically regulated airspace, and the extreme variability in thermal and meteorological conditions over such a longitudinal span. But since it's Dora, I give her the pass. Now they reach Russia and we see an accurate depiction as they're all drinking vodka. They call the backpack, take 2 skis and sled through the snow and was met with an unfamiliar foe, the Russian troll. But they make silly faces and bypass through the troll. Now the swiper confidently says,
No one even tried to swipe them this time.
and was immediately proven to be wrong. Behold,
Чемпиона мира по шахматам, международного гроссмейстера, заслуженного мастера спорта СССР Анатолия Карпова!
obviously the bear tries to swipe, and since it's Dora, you know the drill, you already know what's coming. Just kidding, Dora uses the power of words, diplomacy and friendship, saves the people of Russia and continues the mission. Now behind the scenes, back at the base camp, there was some stuff going on too. More and more of Dora's OG friends were gathering around Boots, such as the troll, the chicken, Dora's boyfriend and the horse. At the same time, the friendship bracelets began glowing. So there's clearly a bigger payoff being set up, and we still don't know the full story behind it, as it will be revealed at the end. And now, the final destination. She goes to China. But this time, she takes a train. Now, during the shoot of this episode, there were many set leaks, many spoilers, paparazzi, but we were actually not sure. But this episode, turns out, was a crossover with Thomas the Tank Engine. I'm sure the theaters went wild when the goat entered. So they finally reached China and started speaking amazing Mandarin, started speaking with known Chinese myths such as the buildings, pandas and the rice fields. Now in China, Dora reaches a huge barrier, the Great Wall. She realized that there was no way through it, there was no way around it, there was no way to bypass it. She traveled all the way, but she realized there was nothing she could do. Life just keeps on hitting you, blocking you, stopping you until you give up. Dora had no choice but to go back and cry in Boots' arm, abandoning the people of China. Is what you would think, cause Dora fucking super jumps over the Great fucking Wall and reaches the other side. Now the colored weasel did try to steal the bracelets, but it was a cakewalk for Dora and saves the people of China. Finally, she takes the jet and goes back to Boots and his big shoes and the rest of her friends. Now here in the climax, it's a pretty emotional and heartfelt scene. Boots gives the friendship bracelet to everyone and gives one to Dora too. Now if you look at the box, it looks empty. That's when Swiper asks if there is one left for him too. Now obviously, we as the audience assumed there are no friendship bracelets left. But turns out that cheeky little monkey had 2 more bracelets left. So they gave one to Swiper and they give the final one to me. Now I don't know why, but the video became blurry all of a sudden. But it felt good, to be part of a circle of amazing friends and Dora's boyfriend. Finally, the friendship bracelet produced an immense amount of light, and everyone is happy. The end. Now, is this worthy of a 9.8 rating? Absolutely. The cinematography was amazing, the soundtrack was phenomenal, the writing was stupendous, the overall plot and narrative they were driving was marvelous, and finally, the direction was absolute cinema. The only negative I have to say is that our second lead, which is Boots, had less screen time than usual, and that could probably be why it has lost a 0.2 rating, as all the Boots fans might have disliked it. But apart from that, the episode was absolutely perfect.